Hello, dear students. We are discussing the second lesson that's go by the tracks. I have taught in my previous video from first paragraph to ninth paragraph. Today I am going to discuss about from the 10th paragraph. You know very well about what had happened, how Roma Talraja fell off the train and how Baleshwar Mishra tried to save her life. And finally he came to the main road. Now what happened? Innumerable motorists drove by, some even slowing down to see the young man struggling to hold the blood-covered woman in his arms. Innumerable means number of motors, vehicles going on that way, going and coming. And Baleshwar Mishra was pleading those people who are driving the vehicles to please help my sister is injured to take to hospital. Please help me. He was pleading, but no one was stopped. But the vehicle drivers looked at the person, looked at Baleshwar Mishra, who was hold the blood-covered woman on his hand, struggling to save her life. The motorists slowed down their vehicles and looked at him, but no one stopped and no one came to help them. What happened after? Just when he had begun to lose hope, and Baleshwar Mishra finally going to lose his hope because the time is gone, time is spent lot of. The blood is coming from her head and he was going to lose his hope because time is spent lost of lot of and she maybe go dead. He was losing hope. That time a tempo truck pulled over and its driver, a middle-aged man Uspo Gujarati, stepped out. That time a tempo truck driver, a young man, stopped his truck and come down at Baleshwar Mishra, who was speaking Gujarati. He was speaking Gujarati. And he came at the Baleshwar Mishra. Help me, Baleshwar pleaded, and the man helped Baleshwar lay Roma down in the truck, in the back of his truck. When the tempo truck driver came at him, as soon as Baleshwar Mishra pleading him, please help me to save her life. And the tempo truck driver also helped him. Both are together took Roma Talraja, put into the back of the truck, and they are started going to hospital. Baleshwar was quickly telling the driver what had happened. When the traffic police also arrived that, Baleshwar Mishra quickly told him, whom told? Tempo truck driver, what had happened, how did she fall down, and how he brought her into the main road. He told everything. At that time, quickly traffic police also came there. Take the girl to Airoli, suggests the cop. There's a hospital there. And the police, who is the traffic police, came at them and he suggested them, take to her to the hospital, Airoli hospital. Airoli hospital is there and take her to Airoli hospital. You can take to that good hospital, police told, cop told. But Baleshwar disagreed. Airoli was at least 10 kilometers away from that place. But Baleshwar Mishra disagreed with police because the cop told take to hospital, Airoli hospital. But the Airoli hospital 10 kilometers far away from that place. It's a very long journey. If it is anything happened, if the time is spent more, that's why Baleshwar Mishra disagreed with the cop, and he told here is a nearby hospital, we want to go there. There's a closer place I know of, Baleshwar Mishra said. There is a closer place, there is a hospital, we want to go there. 10 minutes later, they arrived at a small hospital where nurses helped to take a young woman in, but the facility lacked personal equipment. The on-duty physician wasn't able to more than give basic first aid. And after 10 minutes, They reached a hospital. Hospital was very small, only there uh, not that much equipment and facilities to treat her. There is only giving first aid. Nurses treat her and give first aid to the patient. uh, he advised that she moved to nearby hospital. They took first, they made first aid to the patient Roma Talraja, and they advised Baleshwar Mishra to take nearby another hospital. Baleshwar and the driver had no choice but move to her back into the truck. Baleshwar and tempo truck driver again took her and put into the back of the truck. There is no choice. They wanted to move to another hospital because this hospital is very small. There is no equipment, there is no facility, that is only for giving first aid. So they took first aid from that hospital. They wanted to go another hospital to treat her. When the vehicle lurched forward, Roma stirred and her eyes fluttered open. They put her into the back of the truck. Tempo driver going towards the hospital, and Baleshwar Mishra sitting beside her was sitting beside her. When the tempo was going, that time Roma Talraja slowly tried to open her eyes. Baleshwar Mishra became so excited, so happy when she opened her eyes. What's your name? Asked Baleshwar, who was with her in the back of the truck. Baleshwar Mishra was sitting beside her. When she opened her eyes, as soon as very quickly he asked her, what's your name? And Roma managed to grind out. Roma managed to grind out means managed to talk. She suffered to talk too much. She efforted to talk too much because she was very weak. Even she can't have strength to speak. She managed to speak. She suffered a lot of to speak out. Whom can I call? He asked quickly, fearing that she would black out once more. Baleshwar Mishra asked her, what's your name and whom can I call? Tell me your family member's phone number. I wanted to call them and they will come and they will look after you. Baleshwar Mishra asked her, whom can I call? And fearing that she would black out once more. Again, Roma Talraja black out once more. Blackout means she gone unconscious again. Blackout means unconscious. She gone to unconscious again. My brother Dinesh, she told slowly, giving his Dinesh cell phone number. Baleshwar Mishra memorized and watched as Roma Talraja. Talraja's eyes soon lost focus and rolled back into the darkness. Roma Talraja was going to unconscious again. That time she told his brother named Dinesh and gave her his phone number to him. He told his phone number. Baleshwar Mishra memorized the phone number and Roma Talraja black out again once more. Chacha, can I borrow your mobile? Baleshwar asked, and the driver passed him his phone. Baleshwar haven't mobile, and he how to call her brother. She gave her brother's phone number, and he went at the tempo truck driver. He asked, "Can I borrow your mobile? Means can I use your mobile?" And tempo truck driver gave his mobile to Baleshwar Mishra. He handed his mobile to Baleshwar Mishra and he called. Whom called? He called Roma Talraja's brother, Dinesh. Dinesh Talraja was wrapping up his day at his market job at a retail outlet in Ulhasnagar when his phone rang from number he didn't recognize. Roma Talraja's brother Dinesh was working at a marketing job. That time his phone was rang and he saw the number was new. He didn't able to recognize the number because this number was very new for him. Dinesh Bhai, a young voice, asked him. Your sister Roma Talraja was fallen off the train. We were taking to her Divine Hospital in Gansoli. When Dinesh was received the call, this side, Baleshwar Mishra asked, Dinesh Bhai? Yes, he told. I am talking from Divine Hospital. Your sister has fallen off from the train. She is injured. We were taking her to Divine Hospital in Consoli. Please come soon. I am on my way, said Dinesh, rushing towards his motorcycle. Dinesh, when he heard, as soon as he took his vehicle, I am on the way, and he also went to the hospital. Roma arrived at Divine Multi Special Hospital and Research Center a minute later. After a minute, Roma arrived at the hospital, Divine Hospital. Dr. Anil Agarwal, the medical director there, Anil Agarwal, he is the medical director. Seeing the extent of Roma injuries, admit her immediately to ICU without any paperwork. When the doctors checked her, as soon as they admitted to the ICU without any paperwork, because she was so much serious. She was very serious. That's why they didn't make any late. They didn't make any late. They didn't write anything. They didn't waste the time on paperworking. Directly, the doctors take to her to ICU bed. He asked Baleshwar to hang around until Roma's family arrived. That's when they noticed that the truck driver, having done all he could, had slipped away with his truck. Oh, I couldn't thank him, Baleshwar thought. Baleshwar wanted to stay there up to her family members arrived to hospital. But after some time he looked around. The tempo truck driver, he went. He went away. When they admitted to hospital, the truck driver went. Baleshwar Mishra disappointed this time because he didn't say even one thanks also, Mr. That young man, the tempo truck driver. Tempo truck driver had done everything for them. He helped too much. He helped so much. He only bring her from very faraway places to hospital. But Baleshwar Mishra didn't thank him. That made him some time pain, and he disappointed for that. Roma was still unconscious, but her X-ray showed that although the injuries looked severe, all she needed were deep wound stretcher. There would be no lasting damage. Doctors give treatment to Roma Talreja, but there is no that much damage, but won't happen. But Dr. Agarwal believes that she couldn't she could have plead to death had nobody helped her. Dr. Agarwal, who is the doctor of Divine Hospital, told that if anybody helped her very soon, she could die of bleeding, he told. When she finally opened her eyes at that night, her brother and parents were her by side. That night, when the treatment has finished, her family members taken to her home. That night she opened her eyes. Her brother and her would be sit beside her, and she looked at them. She could barely speak, just nodded and fell asleep again. She could barely speak. She can't speak at this time. She nodded only. She makes sign with her face and head. Nothing more than that because she was very weak. She didn't speak that time. As soon as again she fell asleep again. When Baleshwar came to meet her next morning, Roma was still partly seated. Next morning, Baleshwar came to her home to meet her. How he was, he wanted to see her. And that time also she was not fully recovered. On his way, Baleshwar had even visited the spot where Roma had fallen, looking for her belongings because Dinesh had told him that her cell phone and handbag were missing. On his way, Baleshwar met the place where the woman Roma Talraja fallen off the train because she lost her handbag and mobile phone. Her brother Dinesh informed him. Baleshwar went there and he took her handbag and her cell phone, who was the railway guard police. Railway police recovered them and put into the office. When Baleshwar went there, he hand over him. He took her handbag and cell phone and came to home to give them because Dinesh had told him her cell phone and handbag were missing. Not far from the spot, the railway employee issued Baleshwar that some of the Roma's belongings had been found. How are you feeling? Baleshwar asked Roma. I'm okay, Roma whispered. Baleshwar asked her, how are you feeling? How are you, my dear sister? She told, I'm very well. I'm okay. She whispered. Whispered means speak very silently. She can't speak very loudly because she is even very weak. She can't speak very loudly. She spoke silently. She whispered, I'm okay. In a few days, Roma made a full recovery. I can't imagine what would happen if Baleshwar hadn't been there. She says. After a few days, Roma became full recovery. That time she expressed her views. If Baleshwar Mishra didn't come there, what would happen? I didn't alive today if he didn't come and save my life. Who told? Uh, Roma Talraja. Amazed to learn of the manners in which she had been rescued. This is the very wonderful. This is very amazing how the man rescued me. I am saved today. I am alive today because of Baleshwar Mishra, she told. I think it's astonishing that a stranger would jump off the train and risk his life for me, and I can never repay Baleshwar. She told another sentence, she added another things that this is very astonishing, this is very wonderful, this is very amazing thing. How could a strange person jump out of the train to take a risk his life and rescued me? This is very wonderful, this is very amazing. Whatever I can do, I can't repay Baleshwar Mishra's help. Roma Talraja expressed her views. I am new to Mumbai, but I have noticed that people here are afraid, says Baleshwar Mishra, who is still looking for a job. Baleshwar Mishra, he is new to Mumbai. He came to Mumbai very recent days. You don't know about that much of the Mumbai, but even today also he is searching job. He is unemployed. He is searching job, and he know that the people are operating to involve like this condition to help the other people who are in risky. The fear of getting trapped in the courts and the police. The people are Mumbai of the Mumbai. They afraid to involve to help the people who are in injury, who are in met accident. The people are fear to help them because they think they trapped into the police and court. Some trouble will come up in the future. That's why they fear. They do not go to help the people. So why did he do so? She needed help. Baleshwar puts it simply. Then Baleshwar Mishra asked a question. Asked him. He asked a question. Baleshwar Mishra asked. Some people asked Baleshwar Mishra question. Why did you do so? Why did you help the Roma Talraja? She is not your neighbor. She is not your family member. She is very strange person of you. Why did you help her? Baleshwar Mishra asked very simply. She needed help. She needed very help that time. Her life was very critical condition. She was in very danger. She needed help. That's why I helped her. And that is That day it was Roma, and tomorrow could be you or maybe or me by the tax bleeding alone. See what a wonderful answer from the Baleshwar Misra. When she asked the question, why did you help her? He told, very simple answer, she needed help, that's why I helped. Tomorrow you or me on the tracks. That time someone maybe come and help her, and who are going to trouble in their life, who need, we can't expect. Today Romatal Raja fall on the track. Tomorrow you may be, day after tomorrow maybe I. That time someone will come and help us. So Baleshwar Misra told that. This lesson is expressing the very helpful nature of Baleshwar Misra. He is a very young and energetic boy, high school dropout, and he came to Mumbai very recent days. He wanted to search job. He was searching job. That time this incident happened. He didn't think about he didn't think about she is strange. He didn't think about what consequences happen in the future. He may be trapped into the police and court. He didn't think about any consequence. He went and took her to take to hospital, saved her life. This is the very wonderful thing. No one can repay his helpness to save her life. Rumata Raja finally recovered very well, and she is become like before. So this lesson is expressing helping nature of Baleshwar Misra. So I explained all lesson, and the lesson is completed. I hope you have understood this lesson, and I hope you can able to answer all the questions from this lesson. Thank you very much.